continue on with the last of my story. I didn't realize that it cut off. I'm sorry about that. I don't know why it did that, but anyway, let me continue. So my mom's lungs filled with fibroids, and what ended up happening was near the end, when she would eat, little bits of food would go into her lung, which created an infection. So the infection led to like a pneumonia, which filled up the rest of the lung. Wherever there was not nodules, now there was infection, which was a pneumonia, which was water. So that's how my mom passed. Sadly for us, for me, you know, it's a difficult thing just in general when someone passes, and then when it's your name giver, and then, you know, you're the one who had to make the call with the doctors for her passing. It was difficult because she knew in the end it would be me that would make the call, and she said, you know, please ensure that I don't suffer. She said, I've suffered enough in my life that I really don't want to suffer anymore. And when the doctors told me that there was nothing more they could do because her lungs were basically full of water and fibroids, I had to ask them to make sure that she was comfortable. And when they told me she wouldn't last a few more days, and if we didn't let her go in peace, she would suffer a lot because she's suffocating. So that being said, the reason I'm telling this story is because she wore this humongous CPAP mask that blew her face like this when she would you know, go to talk or whatever. It would push air, which is, of course, it's trying to keep her alive, because that's the function of a CPAP mask, right? To give you air when you don't have any. So nothing in the end could save my mom. Her lungs were full of water and fibroids, and the doctors said, you know, there's so little wrong with your mother health-wise that she probably would have lived into her mid-90s if she didn't have this. So I kind of had some trauma with that part of her passing and using this CPAP mask, because so many nights I would literally put it on and cry because it just reminded me of her going through this, you know. So I had to get a hold of myself and say, you know, luckily for me, this is keeping me alive right now. It's not hurting me in any way, and it's like not the end of my life. This is very well may be like the beginning of a really good part of my life. So being the age I'm at now, there's no more young, youthful beauty and what do you call that? Vainness, really. I am who I am. I look how I look, whether I have the red spots on my nose or the strap marks on my face. I don't really care, because like I said, I don't have to look at me, but I'm just grateful that I'm alive, that I have this new day. Even though it's almost 5 p.m. in the afternoon, and I'm, you know, I've spent the day for the most part just relaxing and not really doing much, which is such a rare thing for me. I'm tired, but I'm okay. I think I laid in bed too long. So I think I noticed this mask thing, and I'm talking about where you feel like you put a mask on and you're suffocating. That's trauma. So during the pandemic, when people told me they couldn't wear masks because they can't breathe, I realized, I would think like, you can't breathe. It's very breathable wearing what they were calling those blue masks and pink masks and all that stuff. They're very breathable. There's really nothing in them that stops you from breathing. It's our own perception of something covering us. Either something that happened to us earlier, or we had an experience like I had with my mom, where the last day of her life, she had this CPAP mask the wind inside it was so loud that she just... See, I'm talking about my mother and a mourning dove. And you know it's mourning, right? It's mourning. Doves, the gray doves are called mourning, like you're in mourning. And it's so incredible to me. I'm sitting here talking about this, and a mourning dove just is sitting on the rail of the porch just looking at me. I've never seen a dove, a mourning dove, fly around our house like this. Thank you, Mommy. I take everything as a sign from my mother. It just gives me some kind of comfort. So the traumas we have that we don't deal with come out in ways, in things like wearing masks for sickness, or in a hospital like the CPAP mask that I wear now. So I had to really push myself through wearing that mask, because I knew if I kept choking in losing my breath 34 times a minute every night, that, like the pulmonologist said, your organs, your body, your blood, your brain is not getting enough oxygen. So you always feel wasted, exhausted, confused, foggy, sore. Of course, your body's not getting the relaxing, healing sleep that you need. So I urge you and I plead with you to please listen to your body. If no one else is listening to you, find someone who will. We need to advocate for ourselves. We need to ensure that we push through the things that are painful, are scary, are exhausting, make us think or feel like there's no way out, because there's always a way out. There's always a way to fix something, right? There's always a way. There's no way that there's no way. There's always a way. There's somewhere to go, someone to speak to, call an emergency line, call someone, go sit in the hospital for hours. I've done it. There's so many things that we need to do in our everyday life, but I think the priority needs to be our health and how we're feeling, and who do we need to be for ourselves? Question mark. Who do you need to be for yourself? And who are you for everyone else in your life that you tell to go and advocate for themselves, and you support them, and you talk fire into them, and you tell them to be better to themselves and do the rest, to rest when they need and see the doctor when they need? Well, what about you? What are you doing for you? Are you taking your own great advice? So I know my last one of this got cut off at that point where I was saying this part. So thank you for coming back. It's just so important to take care of ourselves. And if we feel off and we feel like there's something wrong, then there is. You're not going crazy. There's not something wrong with you. You're not stupid. You're not menopausal. You're not premenstrual. You're not a crazy woman. You're not psycho. What convenient little labels for people who don't know how to help you. So they label women in different parts of their phase of life something that justifies their inability to comprehend what that woman in their life is going through, or even a man. If you don't understand what they're telling you, then help them find someone who does. Be better to yourself, and if you're the one supporting that person, be better to them. Especially if that person is always great with you and kind and generous and loving and supportive and helpful. All of these labels are so useless. That is a colonialistic training to degrade and demean and downplay when people are ill and in pain or suffering somehow on some level, because the person that they're asking for help doesn't understand how to help them or how to get them help, then if you don't know how to do that, get the F out of the way and let them find someone who does. Be a good enough friend to say, I don't know how to help you. Do you want me to help you find someone who can? Just be better, you know? So I can only send you love. I can only send you wishes of health and healing and wishes for a great weekend. And I hope that this somehow, somewhere along the line helped someone, because we all need help at different points in our lives. Take good care of yourself. I wish you a great peace. And have a great rest of your day. I'm waiting for my kids to get home, so I hope I get to see my 2 granddaughters today, which is a treat for me. Living my dream is doing this, helping someone, even one person. So if you want to subscribe to my channel, you can look for this Living the Dream podcast on YouTube, on Instagram, and you can share any of them. They're all shareable. And I really truly hope that you guys get something out of whatever I'm saying, whatever that means for you. See ya.